That cut out a little early. Hi, everybody. Welcome to an exciting episode of Grippin and Rippin. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Dave Wonder, a.k.a. Dave Wheeler, a.k.a. that dude who's wearing the same headband thing as yesterday. It's green. I like it. Don't judge. With me, as always, is an empty chair. God damn it, Robo.
I'm trying to find stuff.
Sorry. I was trying to time it out so that I could get you with bringing it. But our very special guest tonight is the man who shares a body with none other than the sweetest man in all of professional wrestling, gentleman Jervis. That's right. It's our good pal, Kevin. What's shaking,
hey, everybody? Man? What's up? How you doing? Ooh, it's nice to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm Kevin, one half of gentleman Jervis.
There you go.
I know it's a little confusing, too. Sorry about that.
It's half the fun, man. But welcome. So if you're not familiar, we talk about toys here. We grip, we rip, we have some fun. The chat's always going like crazy. Also, real quick shout out to Brio, All Mine, Nightmare, Juan, AVP, Mark. Oh my God, it's popping off right now. What up, Modern Toy Fair? Everybody. Oh, Cranky Monkey's already here. Hey, you're on time, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah. Kevin, if I ever refer to them as the COJ, it is a self-named group, the consortium of jackasses. They're the fine folks who regular this channel. They're a bunch of fantastic folks.
There was this urge inside of me to say language, but yeah. Jervis, we're keeping him on the low today.
Jackasses are a species, but yeah. But yes, welcome. So, real quick, what are y'all gripping and ripping this fine evening?
I'll let you begin. Go ahead.
I was still looking for stuff.
I actually was too. I thought I had it with me, but I have I have something very special to grip and rip today.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it is. Well, do I reveal it? Am I supposed to reveal it now?
Yeah, whatever you like, man.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Loot Crate exclusive Danny Pennington from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Heck yeah, man.
Yep, that's been one that I've been after for a very long time. And I mean, like, that was an action figure I envisioned. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, they could make this, and I don't know why they don't. Like, why don't they have a Danny?
Yeah.
But now I have it, so maybe we'll get to open that. Also, I want you guys to know that this is what's currently on display in my home.
That's beautiful.
That's
Nice.
so John Silver and Chuck Taylor are sandwiching our little friend, gentleman Jervis there.
That's
And
beautiful.
that's Batman's horse.
Heck yeah! I was gonna ask before we got started, what all do you collect, man? What are you into?
Wow, I collect like a nice mixture of Marvel, Star Wars, and then like any of the higher quality 1/12 scale stuff.
Right on.
That's kind of where I begin. Yeah.
Robo.
That is I'm down for
Right
that.
now, usually what happens is like the most updated, like the most recent, like here's one. He's been chilling for the last
Goon.
Goon.
Nice.
I also made him the corporate 2011 WWE champion.
I was gonna
was
say
like-
he's got the strap.
That was the strap they had for like The Rock for like a month or two, I think. And they did away with it. But I've got some WWE stuff. I've got some, obviously some Marvel Legends stuff and some custom things as well. I'm not a huge customizer myself. I like to kit bash more than customize. But I've got like the ones that don't exist that I need to exist. I've got them made. Like I've got a really dope Adam Warlock in the garage because they just haven't gotten him right yet, and I don't know how that's happened. But I'm getting away from my point. I like to collect 1/12 scale, and I'm migrating a little bit into the more like high quality, like Hot Toys stuff and the 6 scale stuff. But it's a kind of slow process rather.
You don't need to get into 1/6. It's not worth it.
Tell me, lay that on me. What's not worth it?
Oh, is they frozen or am I frozen?
I'm in my range right now, but what?
Oh, he fell out.
Did I kill him? Did I do that?
I don't know. I think it was me saying it 1/6 isn't worth it
Damn.
because he's a Hot Toys guy.
He slammed the laptop shut.
Yeah, he's like, I can't take this.
He's like, I'm out of here. I'm done.
No, I have
why
a couple.
do you
of
like
Hot Toys.
1/6? I mean, besides the price point.
What is it?
Why don't you say, or why do you say I shouldn't collect 1/6?
Oh, there's too much 1/12 out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's
to
true.
grab and everything. But I'm a hypocrite. I have a few Hot Toys hanging out here and there. So
Yeah, just a few, just like 3. I think I have. I've got Mysterio, I've got Doctor Strange up there, and then Mando down here.
no, see, Mando is the tempting one. That's the one.
Gateway.
I'm
Hot
so
Toy.
afraid if I got Mando, I'd have to get, other figures to go with them. If I get a Han, you have to Chewie, Luke, you get a Leia. It avalanche, so I can't do it.
Yep, Mando was he was the gateway. I've never had a Star Wars 1/6 scale figure, and now I'm like, okay, I want to sell all my Black Series. I've had that urge. Yeah, I've got a massive Black Series collection, and I've had this urge lately to move it and then do like a higher quality, more concentrated Star Wars collection, if that makes sense.
Same scale or just?
No, 6 scale or
Go
go
to 6.
the other direction because I have a 3.75 inch Star Wars collection that rivals the Black Series collection, and there's a lot. I think the options are better at 3.75 inch with like the ships and the displays. I like building dioramas too. That's another one of my things I like to indulge in. Well, yeah, if I'm gonna have my stuff on display, like I want to have something there with it. Oh, he's back.
Kind of the power blue. So I'm currently using my UV.
Wow. You said you were having tornadoes, sirens in the background too before we started.
Yep. So the power just blew. It sounds like it's a little further south, but I figured I'd hop in for a quick minute. I'm just gonna let this run, and then I'll try and check back in when I can.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah. So I'll be on for a couple of minutes. I got about 30% battery, so my phone was charging, for what it's worth. But dang it,
Been there, done that. Remember?
a couple times.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah,
Grippin After Dark, says Modern Toy Fair.
kind of.
You look like you're recording a Riddler video.
I feel like I'm recording a Riddler video. Hold on, let me make it even more creepy. I'll stand in front of my unlit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that the Wakandan throne in there?
It is. I'm a big 1/6 scale dude. So.
We were just discussing about whether or not I should get into it, and I've seen that throne. My local comic shop in Culver City, California, has had that throne on discount for like a long time. It's the Comic Bug in Culver City. If you're a SoCal person.
Oh, but, dude, that's a great shop.
Yeah, you know the Comic Bug?
Yeah, I lived out in LA for a little while, and I had a bunch of friends in Culver City.
Oh, cool! I love the Comic Bug. There's 2 of them, and they're one of the only places like that this side of Los Angeles that has high quality toys. Like they'll get the Mezco releases, or they'll get the Hot Toys releases, like all the most up to date stuff, and they don't kill you on the price.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how the best way to do this is, because I'm also like looking outside, and I don't know if you can see this. It's a light.
That's scary. No, thank you. Jervis hates thunderstorms too, so I'm not going to tell him about that.
That's fair. Thank you, Mitch. Mitch tossed the link up to the Comic Bug right there.
Hey, all right, Mitch.
Heck yeah. So also, Mitch is our moderator extraordinaire. I'm actually going to sign off because now it's getting a little loud outside. But I will try to pop back in a little later. I'm real sorry, guys.
Well, I don't have really a whole lot of experience with live performances or, staying cool under pressure and leading broadcasts. So, gosh, I'm lost. We're going to be lost without you.
It's sad. Oh, Robo can handle it if you can. But you know what? I got.
I trust Robo.
It's all good.
All
We're
right,
good.
I'll pop back in a little later on. I'll catch y'all later.
Be careful.
See you, buddy.
Bye. Now the real trick. How the hell do I get out of here?
No.
I've never done it on mobile. Don't judge.
No. Oh, I was about to say got the phone turned.
Oh, that's all right.
Nope. But your 3 3/4 inch, how far does that go back?
The scale, okay, so this is a little bit weird about it. I collect the highly articulated 3 3/4 inch. So I don't have the 5 points of articulation collection like fleshed out, aside from the ones I had when I was younger and that kind of thing. But I have since fleshed out like the fully posable ones, and I even have like Malgus and Plagueis. Like I have like the kind of obscure ones that really only came around once and didn't even get a re-release. I think if I had to give up my Star Wars like Black Series, the 6-inch collection, I would. If I had to give up every collection I have, like every subset, the 3.75-inch Star Wars one, I think that'd be the one I keep.
So that's the question I ask a lot of people is if you had to get rid of everything but keep one, it'd be your 3 3/4 inch.
Either if I could just keep one scale, I would start with the 3 3/4 inch. I always I don't know about anybody out there in the chat. I don't know about you, Robo. I stay disappointed that Marvel or Hasbro has stopped making that scale Marvel. Even though they were always a little bigger.
The Universe line?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love the Universe line. That was one of my favorites.
I never did any of them, but I would see them when I go to the toy aisle, and I'd be like, oh, well, those look kind of cool. But once 2002, when Spider-Man Classic started, I left behind. I stopped 3 3/4 inch. I went to 6-inch, and I've never
looked back. Yeah. What was your first one from that series? I loved that set when it came out.
I got. Did I find all 4 at once? And I couldn't help myself. I think I grabbed. Was it I can't even remember which ones were in 1 and 2. Because
I remember there was Parachute Spider-Man. I think he was in the first one, right? Or no. Going back to the McFarlane. There was the McFarlane Spider-Man Battle Damaged. Right. Yep.
And was Riley in the first one? And was Daredevil in the first one? See, man, that's
Daredevil. I can see Daredevil in my head.
20 years ago.
Wow. I remember when that line came out. Again, it was one of those moments of like when I had that Danny Pennington figure in my hand, I'm like, here's a fully articulated plastic representation of that character that I loved. Or I didn't love him. He was a pain in the ass. But
yeah,
it was there. It was real. And I could see it. And I'm like, why did it take them so long to get here? I felt that way about that Spider-Man Legends line or the Spider-Man Classics line when it came out, like just seeing how well they did it. Because I remember I wanted the super posable one or the most posable one that didn't have the magnets. I wasn't really into the magnet gimmick.
Right.
But I think that was the one that came with the parachute, and a buddy of mine got it for me for Christmas. And like, that was when I was at an age, and I don't know if anybody else out there in the chat feel this, Robo, I don't know if you felt this. That was an age when I was like a little ashamed to be collecting toys. That was when I was told it's time to put away your things and play sports. You know, put away your childish things and get it. Well, yeah, why do you think I picked pro wrestling ultimately? I was JV athlete extraordinaire. I don't want to do anything but be in my own world and play with my collection of toys and video games and be in my like my basement. It was my safe space in my house. But like that, I remember when that Spider-Man Classic series came out, my friend and we were both in like 9th grade, and it was a Christmas party, and there were girls there that I liked. And he like low-key gave me this Spider-Man action figure, and he's like, "Here, dude, how bad you wanted this?" And I was like, "Oh, he knows me." Like that was a good friend. But that's kind of where my 1/6. Like I took a few years off after the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles craze wore off, and then that brought me right back, like you said. And I haven't really looked back since.
See, after I graduated high school, I was just talking about this last night to Pixel Dan and them. I wasn't buying stuff. It was kind of, I would acquire things in junior high, and I had a shelf in my room, but that was along with video games and everything else. But then high school, directly after high school, you have to adult, you know, I have to adult stuff, and I can't. But as soon as 95 came around, 96, and the special editions and the Power of the Force 2, it was just right back.
It got you back in there.
And I was never I did pull these are for my kid a couple of times.
When I was in college, I went to Penn State University, and my friend Phil and I would go. We were huge. I mean, wrestling marks like to the nines, like to the T's, whatever. We would go to Walmart. There were 2 of them in town, on both sides of town, and they were 24 hours. So we would go at like night. So we didn't see any cool people that like would make fun of us.
Right. Plus, they stocked at night. You could catch them coming out of the boxes.
Oh yeah, exactly. And we knew we knew when they were dropping off. I mean, I know all the drop off schedules around the SoCal area. I still get out there and hunt, but now with far less shame. You know, I'm proud to be who I am, and I'm proud to love. Again, these this isn't just a little This isn't just a little plastic representation of one of my all-time heroes. Like, I know this guy now, and when I used to call bar wrestling and do commentary, Bill McKenna used to be in the audience. We would always get his ass up and come sit right next to us. And I'd be asking him action figure questions between matches.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to get good with this guy, right? I want to be cool with him. But it's more than just, to me, it represents a little bit more than just an action figure, like just a plaything, right? Like that's, and a lot of the times, especially now with wrestling, those are people I know. Like those are my friends. When I saw Chuck Taylor on the shelf, because Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy and Drew Gulak taught me how to wrestle. I trained with them. When I first saw him on the shelf, I cried, but then I grabbed it and I was just waiting in the aisle for somebody to walk by so that I could tell them this is my friend. I know this guy. He's my friend. He's great.
And now I have him in action figure form.
Yeah, it's become like it's this new level of the hobby I never thought I would get to, but I'm here now. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it's cool to, I mean, 1, it's fun. 2, it's something to get, something to hunt after.
Oh yeah.
But there's also so many aspects. Like you were talking about customizing earlier. When I get tired of looking at stuff straight out of the package, I look for stuff to tear up.
Yep.
And now that of course, with self-checkout and everything, you don't have to deal with cashiers but every now and then you get those few you buying to keep them in the package, you're going to sell them later. I was like, nope, I just need that head and I need those legs. I'm tearing it up. So
and then you put a different head in there and then send it back. Are you one of those guys?
No, hey, no.
I have seen some doozies, but the worst are in Burbank. I think there's only like one person in Burbank doing it. If I ever catch them, I'm telling you, it's going to be trouble. Because and now tell me what you think about this, because I try. This is like the one thing I'm a fan of that I really try not to complain about. It's toys. It's only joy, but I think it's a little strange. Like I collect carded figures, especially from the Legends line. The new boxed off, like no window. It's like it really hurt my head when I first saw it. I was like, for as long as I can remember, they've been in plastic shells.
Yeah.
You know. What do you think about that?
Well, for me personally, I order most of my stuff online anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When I go out and find stuff, it's mostly just to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And if I find something, that's fine. If I don't, I'll wait for it to hit my porch. But I can see the swapping happening. And what are you supposed to do? Do you bring it back and say, well, this was swapped? What keeps them from looking at you going, oh, well, you're just trying to get your money back and on the toy that you swapped.
Right.
There's no proving it. So I don't know if they're going to have some kind of anti messing around stuff, like how tough is the glue or what's going to happen to the box
in there or something.
Yeah. Well, look, I tossed this in. The new Transformers, they have the open window.
I see. Okay, I saw that. Yeah, and that's what's odd. Is that encased in anything, or is it's just open?
It's just open. You
But
can reach in.
It's detached from it, like the LeBron James head, right?
When I found this, there was also who was it? Was a Silver Blue Streak? It was one of the others, and somebody had taken the head off of it at Target, and it's like
the first.
It's not an invitation to be a butthole about,
No, right.
And I get a lot of comments.
I
get a lot of comments of, well, Hasbro's just asking for it. Wait.
How?
No.
How?
Don't be a dick.
The first time I saw the boxed figures, it was the Thor Love and Thunder basic set, and I just was like, what am I looking at here? I was like, is this a preview of what's to come? Like, is this like a cardboard piece you hang on the thing, like, to show what's going to hang here? And I was like, there's a toy in here. And I was like, I don't know. That really got me. But on top of that, the other thing that I noticed last week, I think this latest Thor Love and Thunder line, if it wasn't the Doctor Strange line, I think the Thor Love and Thunder line was the first to officially take the price point up to like at least $24.95, I think, or $24.99.
$24.99, yeah.
Yeah, that's also for my collecting habits. I was mentioning earlier that like the 12 scale premium stuff, like some of that Super 7, those points, they keep coming down. Like I can at Comic Book, they have Super 7 figures for like 46 or 47. And
that's when what they retail for, right?
Yeah, and they drop a couple dollars off it, and like, when you're all basically paying about $30 for a Marvel Legend that doesn't even like, and the deluxe ones are great. Like I love here he is, like Defender Strange, Ponytail Doc. I thought he was awesome. Came with the, finally we got an official effect, portal effect, and like I have the bootleg ones, right? The 3D printed ones. And he's already on sale. And that's the thing, is like, I think the price point is so high that like I've seen these Legends go right to the clearance shelves because I think they might have hit that breaking point, that inflection point where it gets to be too expensive for the average collector.
Well, I think, I can see that, but I also think Target's doing something weird because they held on to Eternals as long as they could at full price. And now that's all moved to an end cap at mine, and there's not a lot in the aisle. I've never seen Defender Strange.
Oh, you've never seen him at yours?
Mm-hmm. I would love to find one on
$15 already.
Oh yeah?
I've seen them for $15 already. I waited on the Eternals. I got most of the Eternals for like, I think $680 was the price. I saw them for $880, $780, and $680 at different Targets. And I was like, dude, I'm not going lower. It's not going to get lower than $6.80. But it made me sad in a way because I thought the Eternals figures, like movie aside, I thought they were great looking figures. Like I think that the faces, that the digital paint is finally right on. And I think that the costumes are whatever. Like, I mean, the movie costumes were a little silly, but like I would have preferred to maybe see some street clothes or something. But for the most part, I saw every character from that line on the clearance rack. Like there wasn't even a hard to get figure from that line. In LA.
Was Sprite Sprite was hard to find
here. Only one, but Sprite they didn't sell at Target, and that was why. I think Sprite was only Best Buy and Walmart. Weirdly,
Yeah.
they did that with Eternals. They tried to piece it up, and only like, what was Salma Hayek's character? Ajax. Ajax was Walmart exclusive, which I've seen. I saw a Walmart clearance section with her, just rows of her. She was Walmart, and then I can't think of Athena was the Target one, but they kind of put them all up, and it was just a shame because it's like I'm seeing them go right to the discount aisle or right to the discount rack, and this Doctor Strange set almost with them too. Like I can't even tell which one's the favorite of the set anymore. But I don't know. What do you think?
I saw the movie Saturday. Saturday. Went to Walmart directly afterwards, and they had put out a new case.
Oh, nice!
And I still haven't bought that set, but I haven't seen it my Target seems to be kind of cutting back on Marvel altogether.
Where are you regionally?
Northwest Arkansas. So
okay,
I'm like dead center.
You guys are getting, that's LA. We either like we get stuff kind of early out here. Like that Love and Thunder set dropped on like April 18th.
Were you able to buy it, or did they pull the?
So this happened to me 2 weeks in a row, and I know the chat is going to feel my pain on this. I found the whole set was gone except for the like final suit up Thor that didn't have any Build-A-Figure pieces. So I took it over to one of the clerks who at Walmart it's only the yellow vests that have the actual scanners. The other ones just use that cell phone gimmick that doesn't really actually look at the system. They just look at the website. So I said, could you scan this and let me know if you have any more? And she scans it. She goes, it says not sellable item. I can't sell this to you. And I was like, oh no, you can just, and she goes, I have to take it to the back right now. And I was like, but you and she's like, goodbye. And she just walked away, and I stood there. I stood and just looked, and I was like, what? And the next week, went back. There, same Thor, different Walmart, still street dated. But they didn't actually have a date. It just said not unsellable item. Same thing happened. It was, we can't check out with this. I'm sorry. And I'm like, Target does the same thing. It happened with me with Shang-Chi last year. Like I hunted, I got there on time. Sorry, we can't sell this to you, street date. And I'm like, dude, what are we dealing with? Like sneakers? Video games?
They're just toys.
Like
and you put them out.
Yeah.
Why are they on the pegs?
Why is the street date? Is it because of the film, like, and spoiling it? Like,
it's got to be. It's either that or Hasbro. It's their kind of attempt to give every retailer a fair chance, online and big box, for everybody to get their stock. Because I think there's a lot of complaints by the online retailers that you favor big box, and I think that's why Pulse is usually the last place to get them, even though they're selling them themselves. They don't want to undercut their own customers, or the retailers as customers.
I guess the thing is that's a guaranteed sale for them, right? Because they're selling bulk. Like they're not selling like boxes. They're selling pallets or ships worth of pallet. Like so each retailer is going to guarantee that they're buying a certain amount. That's why, like, I travel obviously to wrestle. I was in Oregon a couple weeks ago, and like and someone I think in the chat room said that their Eternals were on sale for like $19, and mine are out here on sale for $6. So I can tell, like, depending on the region and depending on how much product they've ordered, they might be sitting on a ton. But that's what I'm wondering is, like, in general, I would love, and I've applied for jobs at Hasbro plenty of times. I would love to talk to the people in the analytics area of at what point what's the tipping point for the audience? Like, is it $19.99? Was it $22.99? Is it now $24? Because I've seen more clearance Legends in the last year than I ever have. And now the price is higher than ever.
Well, it's only been a couple years since they raised the price. I mean, what was it, $22.99 or $21.99, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
And this is like
2018, I think they did that.
Was it that far back?
I think 18 or 19, but yeah, because I remember I started to really like hardcore collect Legends again in 2017, mid 2017, and that's when the prices were starting to go up. That was at like the end of the Toys R Us days, right around then. And yeah, the prices were starting to go up, but I feel like I'm afraid it's reaching a tipping point. But the thing is too, their quality keeps getting better. Like this Defender Strange is amazing. And one of the biggest problems I've had is the molds, and this is a brand new mold.
Mhm.
It's painted really nicely. Like, it has texture. It looks great.
Yeah, I just cracked open the Love and Thunder Wave yesterday. In fact, that's why I was editing video, and I'm still not done with it for tomorrow. But I mean, I didn't have a lot of interest in a couple of them, but out of the package, they're all kind of fantastic. Just,
The paint,
just
the paint
because
is
of the
great.
details and all the paint apps. And I see the comment. I wish I could click on comments and bring them up, but I have no control here. But extra paint apps is one of their. That's why the prices went up, But I feel like they jacked it up substantially to make up, or to, I guess, preemptively for the next couple of years, so they can run a couple of years like this.
They must have. I mean, that's got to be what it is. But like, also, part of me felt like they might have been sandbagging a little. Like, do you remember the Captain Marvel that came out at Walgreens? There was also Nova Nova came out there, and they were it was colored plastic, and like, I wouldn't even say the logo was painted on. It looked like it had literally just been templated. Like, the paint was
and it didn't have the back.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Exactly. And it was so low effort that now when they do that, like, this Defender Strange looks like $1 million compared to that Nova figure or that Captain Marvel, the Marvel figure. Cause they just like, it was almost like I said, sandbagging, and now we're getting these decent, like, but I'll pay a higher price point for a good, like, for, solid paint and for a unique mold. I think unique is the word I like.
And it's coming to the point where I'm past that point it's been a year or two back. I was buying the SH Figuarts Marvel MCU stuff and it was good, but at this point, Legends is one, going to give you more of the team, and two, look just as good, if not better, most of the time.
It looks better now. It does. The Figuarts, I was with that too for a minute. I had a couple that, like, the QC wasn't great. I was mostly Star Wars because I felt that they scale better with the Hasbro, like with the Black Series versus the Legends. Because getting like Bucky, for example, like Winter Soldier is one I wanted from the Figuarts. He was just so much smaller than everybody, and I was like, that doesn't work. But yeah,
and then I still ended up putting a custom head on it, that Winter Soldier.
Good point. Very good point. That's where the Hasbro. I appreciate the digital paint. Like, I think they've really started to come a long way with it. I think it looks so much better than it did when they first started. And that's more evident on the Black Series, if you ask me.
Now, the Black Series has gotten kind of shiny.
Explain that. What do you think they're using a different plastic?
I don't know if that's a factory thing. From what I hear through grapevines and more grapevines, is that the factory that Marvel uses is a different factory than the one Star Wars uses. But at the moment, Star Wars is sharing with G.I. Joe and something else. And that factory is kind of, I don't know if it's behind or what's going on, but that's why some G.I. Joe is showing up at weird places. Like a Walmart in Indiana or something.
Oh, wow. I have noticed that. For a minute, I was collecting the classified series, then I gave up. So it was a little erratic for me with the drops, like the releases. I was seeing like one figure from a new set, and then months later, the rest of the set. And I was just, it also, I kind of had to, like, Ghostbusters, and I was like, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Ninja Turtles, I gotta pick one of those three if I'm going to hang on to Star Wars, WWE, like, because I collect everything, Right. I love the whole scale.
Well, at least with Ghostbusters, it's a very finite amount at this point. But
very true.
But for Turtles, what do you do? Do you do certain...
So Turtles, it's been the NECA, the movies series pretty much. Like, that's been kind of like where I based it. I followed the cartoon stuff for a while. I was part of the craze at Target trying to get, like the different releases. Musical Mutagen was my last like big, I'm going to really hustle to get these NECA figures. And I kind of fell off a little because the releases, they started speeding them up, but almost all of them felt like they were like online pre-orders or something.
Yeah.
Or they were, you had to be at a certain place at a certain time, and then everybody was missing it. So I kind of backed off on the rest of them through that time, but I still continue to collect the movie figures because that's like my favorite property of all time, like film property and all that. There's that original Turtles film. Like, I mean, the second and the third, whatever, but the first one, like seeing them just continue to expand this line, it's so exciting to me. I love it.
We are now best friends.
Hell yeah. I love it. Perfect. Good to be your best friend.
Because I've seen the figures from, well, they're starting on Secret of the Ooze now, more heavier. And I see it, and I don't think I've seen that movie since it came out.
Definitely not as many times as I watched the first one like once a week. Like I just put it on, you know.
It's been a while since I've watched it, but I hate to admit this, but there was a few months there in high school where I'd watch the rooftop fight scene before going to school every day.
Man, that probably did you get in any fights at school?
No. But I was ready.
Yeah, right. I got it all out of you. I still, again, one of the best, like, you know, it's become a trope that in every third act, Marvel has like, they're all falling from something and fighting in the sky. Like the Turtles, that movie perfected the third act of a superhero film. It showed how to defeat the good guys or the protagonists, but without completely annihilating them. And like, even now I watch it and I'm like, are they going to beat them?
There's still, that movie's way better than it had any right to be. I mean, if you came up with the concept, it's walking, talking Ninja Turtles. They're going to be animatronic and guys in suits, but they made it dark and gritty and serious and just
they took it seriously. I
feel like that lost a little bit movie to movie.
Oh yeah, I think it lost its. I mean, you can see, and like I've watched, like the Toy Galaxy, the Turtle Den. Like I've seen all these channels on YouTube that kind of dig in, and ultimately, what came out was that it was the violence. You know, and they wanted to tone down the violence and the dark and gritty. That's the same reason they hated Batman Returns. Like it was just too dark, and the media was, we got to tone this down on the violence. That's why Michelangelo's hitting people with sausages in episode 2 or the second movie, and in the first movie he's swinging those nunchucks around like nobody's business. So I can see that they lightened it up and made it more cartoony as the time went on. And I never even got into like the later live action ones. I didn't even bother. I was like, there's the first one will always exist. And now that they're finally making like action figures from it that are accurate. Like when that first set came out in the summer of 2018, the VHS set, that was like, I was like, if I never get another toy in my life, this is the one that I wanted. I've always wanted that, and I've made it. Like I've reached the top of this collection or the collecting.
Man, figures, presentation, everything about that set is amazing.
All of it, and I even I still haven't even opened it yet, but I got the accessory set, and they delivered it. It was I was between moves in Hollywood, and it just got taken right off my old doorstep. Didn't get forwarded to my new one, and I emailed NECA and I was like, look, I can't buy it anymore. I was like, I moved, it got stolen, and they were just like, we're just gonna send you another one.
Really?
I thought that really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was really surprised, and they sent me another one. So like now I've got Straw Hat Donatello. Makes everything right.
I had to get an extra Donatello. Well, okay. I already had an extra Donatello.
Yeah, I got 3.
With a straw hat. Yeah.
You mean an extra Donatello, or you got a third Donatello? Because
honestly, I need to go look and see how many Donatellos I have.
I bet you have, because I have 3, and I think if we're best friends, I think you might have 3.
There may be another one floating around. Okay. I do have a single one in the package. I have the VHS box still boxed up, and then I have one sitting by the computer.
That's kind of how I went about it. I have the VHS package, and then but I unboxed that. But then later, when they all got released individually at GameStop, I got those. I have the way I fashioned my garage is I got pegboards and pegs, so it looks like a toy store.
So do you hang carded stuff up on the pegs, or do you use shelves on the pegs?
I've got carded stuff up on the pegs, but I need to get a couple shelves. There's some space for some. But yeah, I hang carded stuff up, and I've tried to organize it by theme or whatever. But for the wrestling side, I just put all my friends up front. But that's what I
Gotcha.
do when I'm in the store anyway. Like if I go to the store and I see Orange Cassidy on the shelf, I put him in front of everybody. Like, you know.
You deserve to be on front.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to cut my wrestling back for AEW. I think I'm only buying toy collectors
Okay.
for
Yeah.
AEW stuff,
Like,
and I
like
can't
if
keep
they're a
up with
collector.
WWE
Yeah.
too much.
It got like there is. I mean, I feel like WWE has circled. Like they're already back around again. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they've got pretty much one of everybody. Now that they have the Goon, now that the Goon is complete, who else do they have to make? Like
They're digging deeper.
they are sure digging into the deep cuts catalog here. But yeah, the wrestling stuff. It's weird. I actually toned down buying wrestling figures. Like I have the Jax, the deluxe aggression, huge deluxe aggression collection from like
Damn. Yeah.
2006 through 9. And then when I got into wrestling and started wrestling, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna buy my friends, like the people that I train with, the people I've wrestled, the people that I know. And then that even started to get too overwhelming because I started meeting more people, you know, and I've been wrestling for 10 years now. So I'm like, okay, now I'm just going to get the people that I've actually wrestled. So that's my rule. If I've wrestled you, I'm going to buy you a figure.
It's always good to have a rule because
you got to have something to break.
yeah.
Yep. And yeah, I think that as the quality goes up and as the price goes up, I'm trying to now be more selective. I just have to, you know, and that's where I saw you. I think we talked about Super 7 for a second. That's where the Super 7 stuff that's coming out now. How do you feel about it? Because I think they're nailing it on the Turtles property. I
like the turtle stuff. They're digging into stuff that I remember, and stuff I don't remember. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I don't remember Silverhawks.
Really?
Yeah, I know the silver guy from maybe a commercial for the toys from back then, but I don't remember the cartoon at all. I remember Tiger Shark and the Silverhawks.
I remember the toys. I remember the red guy with the spikes. I don't even know his name, but like I remember certain action figures from that set. See, here's the funny thing. When I was a little kid, my mom was the toy collector. She would bring them home for me. Like and we still laugh about it today. Like she'll literally still text me a picture from Walmart and be like, anything good on the shelf? I'm like, I love you, Mom. But that's how it began. I think she would just get the ones that looked like they scaled with the turtles because that's where it all started. And she brought those home for me. So I didn't even really know who the Silverhawks were. Now that I've seen them being resurrected, I sort of have this itch of, well, I remember when I had the original version of that. Do I need the modern version of it to kind of fill some void inside?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what we're doing, right?
All these things that I want to, you know, that's where rules come in. So
there's a big nostalgic hole that we're just constantly trying to fill.
Right. And the big nostalgic hole will never be filled. And
I think that's what Super 7's counting on for a lot of their stuff. And I like the look of the Transformers. And I think I've picked up a few of those. And with G.I. Joe, I didn't do a lot of G.I. Joe when I was a kid. For some reason. It was there, but I was over here. So G.I. Joe now is me making up for that.
Oh, sorry, you were more like on the Star Wars Ghostbusters side.
Masters.
Oh, yeah.
Transformers, Star Wars was the big ones.
What did you think of the Masters Revelation line from Mattel?
I liked it. I think I'm getting over the proportions because I was talking to somebody again last night. I was talking to Prod and Dis Thunder playing video games, and we agreed that the proportions are wonky on this one. But I think that's a He-Man style choice going all the way back to the original line because those are out of proportion. But in our brains, after 40 years, it's like, well, those look pretty good.
Yeah, right. You're used to it.
So after I messed with this for a while, I'm liking Masterverse.
I picked up Tila very recently, and I gave her this is Darth Vader's what was that big Darth Vader they made, like the 8-inch hyper reel? What?
Oh yeah.
That's his lightsaber, but I don't know why she has it. But yeah, she was this whole line was on sale for she was like $6, and I was like, it's a really great looking figure. Like I think the show looked really great. I don't know that I was a huge fan of it altogether, but like this figure looks awesome. And when I got her out and started to kind of pose, like I don't have a whole lot of Mattel like non WWE figures, but I think it's great. I think they're awesome.
Mattel, yeah. I kind of fell out with Mattel for a little bit, but
did you?
With this, and that Battle Cat's a hell of a deal. That Master Race Battle.
Oh, I love that, and that also going on clearance. I'm seeing it going up everywhere. I think
that's
it
a big
awesome.
hunk of plastic, but they're still coming out with new stuff. So I don't think it's doing bad. I think it's just the turnaround these days. That's another thing. I mean, back 2000, 2005, if something was on the pegs for 8 months, then it was a peg warmer. Right. But now it's like 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, and it's been too. Yeah, they want the turnaround.
You're so right. I remember when I bought Misty Knight out of I just felt bad. There were so many Misty Knights on the shelf, and I bought the one with the most beat up box. Like it looked like she had already been to three Toys R Us before one. I picked her up. It's a great, it's a cool figure. It's okay. Like that was still where they couldn't figure out the 3 points of articulation for the elbows on female figures.
Yeah.
Hasbro still, I don't think it's got that right. But I remember like feeling like I was putting out goodwill into the world by buying a peg warmer, but it was there for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Now
I think even what was series 14 and 15 of Toy Biz Marvel Legends, those sat at my Walmart for.
Who was in the? Was that the Walmart when was that when they changed the packaging and they got like that newer sleek like Walmart exclusive packaging? I think.
No, that was more towards the. Oh wait.
I think that started in 07 or 08. I thought.
Was that Toy Biz ending or was that Hasbro starting?
That was when Toy Biz was ending, and then Hasbro picked it up, but they basically continued the line like almost identically.
Well,
not quite. That was when they started to tone down the paint apps. That's where the sculpting got more routine, and it became more cookie cutter. That's for me, the Toy Biz Legends were like that was one of the best toy collections of all time, or series of all time.
I've replaced most of them at this point though with the new hat, because Hasbro, they started and it was and then they stopped it. That's when the Universe came in. And then Legends came back a few years later.
That's right. They did stop it for a little bit because they kind of made everybody. They kind of had their first wave of like everybody up until that point. There wasn't. You're right about that. Yeah. And that was when they came out with Adam Warlock, but he had like my color skin. He wasn't gold.
And he was scrawny, very thin.
Yeah, so scrawny. That's the one I was saying. Someone asked if it would disturb the thing. Maybe I'll get him before we shut down. But yeah, I had him repainted and everything, and I was just like, because it had potential to be great, but it just wasn't.
They've made a Warlock since then though, but it's a more modern costume.
It was the more modern one. Yeah, it was like the post I like Infinity War era Warlock. Like I like that 90s hair that he had, and or late 80s hair. And like I like that Warlock. I'm eager to see what the MCU Warlock's going to be.
Hey guys, I just figured I'd hop in real quick. Power is out, but the storm is the bad stuff's passed. So good. I figured I'd drop in real quick. What?
I just saw Jason posting about wicked storms in Minnesota. Stay safe.
Yeah. I was just about to message him because I'm like, man, I hope he's all right, because I know he's up where it's hitting hard right now. So that was us about 10 minutes ago. So, woo!
I guess we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah, I really hope so. I was telling my kid and my wife, I'm like, man, one of the chillest dudes is on. Robo is on. It's gonna be a damn fun time, but can't win them all, folks. But I'll swing back on towards the end of the show so I can actually turn everything off.
Yeah, because it'll keep running, won't it?
I'll just get real voyeur with it.
Yeah, I think it ends up going for. I think it maxes out at 3 or 4 hours if you're not active on it. I'm not positive, but you guys have fun. We'll do this again. And yeah, all the Minnesota folks, stay safe. And we'll just catch you guys later.
Okay.
All right. Catch you at the end. Bye.
See you, Dave.
See you, Gav. See you, Robo.
Later.
See you, Jake.
Man, it's weird to see somebody else get hit by tornadoes and crazy weather.
Yeah, where you're at, you guys had it rough the last couple months.
Yeah, wow, it's been. We had and in my head, it's like, oh, that flood just happened. But it's been several years now. But it feels like it's been wet and muggy and rainy since then.
Yeah. What year was that? You had a big flood in
Let's see.
in Arkansas?
Be 19. So it's been some years.
30 years. 30 years.
But I was stuck at home for 5 days, something like that. Never lost power, never lost internet, so it wasn't terrible.
See, our weather patterns out here, they're a little different. We have fire. We have the mudslide weather pattern.
Yeah.
That's the stay off the highway weather pattern. I grew up in Philadelphia. I spent the first 26 years of my life there. So SoCal weather is a little bit different. But yeah, we don't get tornadoes out here. So no tornado warnings. Which
I haven't spent a lot of time that way, Philadelphia and all that, but I've done quite a few shows. I've worked with a guy that does different Comic-Cons all over the country, and we'd talk about where could we move that wouldn't have some kind of natural event that threatens to wipe you out or strand you at any, and we couldn't think of anywhere really. Maybe everywhere has something.
Now, if you go to Tokyo, you get Godzilla.
Yeah.
If you go to Pennsylvania, you get Mothman. I heard Mothman showing up in Chicago as well. And then SoCal, we got a couple different. We got some. There's a lot of UFOs off the coast. The coast here, like Catalina Island. Yeah, a lot of those happen. Speaking of UFOs, well, go ahead. Sorry.
No, we have flying objects every now and then, but it's nothing down low. It's always up high. They're like, oh no, that's just Arkansas.
Yeah.
Turn real quick and shoot off the other direction. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Just that hard right turn.
There's nothing here. Let's go.
Have you seen the new Cosmic Legions line from Four Horsemen Studios?
I have, and I was gonna jump in, and I ended up not doing it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even so much the price because I have one. I have a vampire.
Oh yeah, I love that one. He's one of the vampires. Like, is he a Legion builder? He's one of the.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't even buy this. I got it from somebody. Cool. Yeah, and it's cool. I like the designs and everything, and they fit right in with like Masters of the Universe classics and stuff like that.
Right.
But like you said, you got to pick and choose at this point with the prices the way they are, and.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw the Cosmic Legions line. I'm a big fan of the outer space kind of themes. Like I love Marvel Cosmic. Like I especially am interested in some of the more deluxe figures that they have that are like huge but scale with the 12 scale legends. Because when I found out that Four Horsemen sculpt a lot of the legends, that's where I was like, oh wow, I have to see what else they make, and like in the same scale. And when they announced these like the Cosmic stuff, I thought it was awesome. I'm just broke right now. Like I just can't continue to invest in a new line. Like I want to. And the other thing about those is once you miss them, they appreciate like double, even triple, only a couple weeks after they're out because they go. They make a finite amount and then they sell out.
Because you can't get them again. There's waves where you can vote to bring some back or something, and they produce them again.
Krampus was a recent vote. They voted him back in. They did a Krampus figure for Christmas. Have you seen it?
Have they shown the actual figure?
Yeah, I'm gonna show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna commit a sin here. I know this is a streaming sin, but to get up and walk away from your chair.
No, I do it all the time.
This was the Krampus figure that came out like just before Christmas. I didn't have the nerve to open it, but it kind of came in like it even came with like a holiday card and stuff. And here, let's see if we can get a close.
But they're changing up the one that's coming, right?
They are. He's red now.
Yeah.
This is the original one. So I thought I might get the red one. The red one was the mass release. This they only did like this was like one of those be online for the pre-order, hope you get it in time kind of thing, or hope you get it kind of.
Because was it over 2 Sundays or something?
Yeah, it was like they did two different dates for it. That's right. They did do the 2 different Sundays.
But it was gone really, really quick each time.
It was. That happened with the Super Shredder too, the NECA Super Shredder, which I actually ended up seeing the Super Shredder. I've seen him a lot since they've re-released him.
Yeah, at Walmart, and then there's the other one coming, and I've seen quite a few of the Casey and April 2-pack.
I haven't seen that yet. I've been looking everywhere. Oh,
Really?
Oh man, I want that pack. Because I have Ultimate April. I don't have Ultimate Casey, but I have like Casey, like I have him from the 2-pack.
Mhm.
But I want to get that set so I can get the unmasked Casey. And I mean, I'm hoping someday they just give us the farmhouse, you know,
With a truck.
or the truck, or the VW. That was the real turtle van to me. Like I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's the movie version of the turtle van.
Yeah.
Wondering if that door swung open with some pizza coming out or something.
Sleeps in it and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may be able to help you with that set if you need some help.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I would love to. I've been. It's interesting. Like that's one thing that's gotten me is I know NECA, they're doing business. They've got to they've got to keep each retailer happy, right?
Hmm.
But it's so frustrating because the Walmarts out here have like their security isn't as good, so like the boxes get ripped open. Their the distribution isn't really that great, so they're only getting one at a time usually. And they just go. And I can always tell because I'll go on OfferUp, especially in LA, and you can see that like they end up on OfferUp right away. Like they're right there. So yeah, sometimes we miss them, and then sometimes we get a certain amount of one and not the other, but I guess we're still figuring it out.
Yeah, up until this point, it's always been kind of tougher to get. I walked into Walmart one time and they had the 2-packs of the turtles of each one. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I could get an extra. And then I left, but I texted Veebs and do you need these? And he was like, yeah. I went back the next day. They were all gone. Never saw them again. But with this set and the Shredder and there's the Splinter and Shredder pack.
Yes.
Those are sitting at every one of my Walmarts.
Yep. I definitely have seen that a lot. I've seen the Shredder and Splinter one a lot. But I guess it's like there's only a finite amount of Ninja Turtles, like the first film, like there's only a finite amount of us people that are going to buy those figures in the first film. Maybe we all got, maybe we all got them the first round at least. I don't know.
Did you get the Shadow Hunters set with
the Shadow Hunters set?
You mean not Shadow Hunter, Shadow
Super
Warriors?
Shredder. He was like the Shadow Master or something.
No, it was Yamato, Yoshi, and before he was Shredder.
Oh, yes, I did get that set. I love that set. I haven't opened it yet.
I didn't get that set. As much as I love the first movie, I've had to decide that I can't get every scene or every.
I'm still waiting on Master Tatsu, personally.
They've said that he's not gonna go for it, is he?
What?
They've tried to contact him several times, and he's not interested at all.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That's the story I hear.
Yeah. You can freeze frame this and pinpoint the moment where my heart breaks. Well, you know what though? Elias Koteas said the same thing about Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put my face on some doll. And then I think not Paige Turco. What's
Judith.
her name? Judith called him up and was like, "Hey, buddy, like you got fans here, and they want to see a little plastic version of you." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, because
maybe
she's a big proponent of all of it.
Really?
She loves it.
Oh, Judith. No, she's the best. I love Judith. She's like, I hope to meet her someday and talk turtles because it's like right to the source.
She was at a show was it last month before last, 45 minutes north of me, and I didn't make the drop. I forgot all about it until that day. And it was just kind of, dang it.
Yeah, one of my favorites for sure. But back to the violence thing, she was one of the most vocal about it.
Yeah, about the actual
when the
violence.
movie came out, she was vocal about the violence. That's why they didn't bring her back.
Oh yeah.
She was really vocal. Like she was like, "Hey, this isn't right. Kids shouldn't be seeing this." And like looking back, I can understand her argument. Like that first one was violent, But yeah, I always wondered why they didn't bring her back because I thought she was perfect. And I found that out from I think Toy Galaxy told that story. I think on one of his.
Maybe that's another reason I don't care too much for the other movies.
The second and third ones because she's not in it. I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to see other April. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. Although I guess eventually they're going to get to those third ones, right?
Oh
The
yeah,
turtle
yeah,
shell.
yeah, yeah. Eventually, and that's going to be a different design altogether. Or well, not altogether, but you can tell the difference movie
I
to
think
movie.
it wasn't Jim Henson, the monster. It wasn't his what are they, Monster Factory, Monster Studio. Jim Henson's Monster Shop that like made the original Turtles costumes.
Mhm.
They didn't make them for the third film. That
Oh,
was
really?
a different company that did those. That's why the animatronics looked a little different around their mouths. That's why their eyes are all like bug-eyed and like they look a little, a little strung out.
Then there was the live action TV show that took it even further.
I was just going to ask you what you thought about that and see do you think they're going to give us those? Do you think
Oh yeah,
could
they
work?
eventually have to get to just to be complete, and the way they talk. And I wouldn't be surprised if they don't already have prototypes sitting somewhere of
Yeah.
that far out.
I was shocked when they did the coming out of their shells figures. The musical mutagen tour. I was shocked. I could not believe that they essentially created those, because that was such an obscure piece of Turtles media. But it was unique. Like it was sort of its own bubble within a bubble. That the Turtles music verse, because they had a storyline there, and like I remember as a kid, I couldn't tell that. I just thought that was a continuation of the film, but I knew they looked different. I was like, something's off. And I don't remember them being this musical.
For some reason, I don't remember that at all. I didn't know much about it until the figures came out, and then I went back and watched some YouTube clips, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It did not. When I watched it back, it didn't hold up the way I thought it would. But still nostalgic, right?
There's a couple people that say she also didn't like the poor treatment of the stunt crew for the movie.
Yes, I appreciated that when I heard that story, because a lot of them didn't. A lot of them were told. I heard they got Darth Vader. A lot of them were told they were going to use their lines and their voices, and they didn't do that for everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they were getting injured like crazy, and they were bringing them in from China, I think. So there weren't any sort of they weren't union. I'm pretty sure a lot of the stunt people were non-union.
That's what Bean said. Stunt people who were from Hong Kong and not unionized.
Yep, they got. Yeah, I mean, she's a good one. Like she's a good one. She's a huge part of the Turtles community, because that's all we're in now, is like these niche communities and sort of subcultures of the broader ones that we grew up around. Now, someone like you or like Dave, or me, we've all kind of made presences or businesses or informational spaces within these communities, right? And we've all got our own subset of it. But ultimately, when I started noticing her come back around, even just the Instagram channel and the Turtles Instagram pages and comments, I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm not the biggest Power Rangers fan. I'm actually rewatching the original series right now just to see how it feels. But that's another community where the actors, like the Power Rangers themselves, they care just as much, if not more, than the fans about their legacy, about their work, about the lore of the show. And as a professional wrestler, as an obscure professional wrestler who I've been part of companies that have come and gone and closed, and they no longer exist, but they were there for a while. I worked for one called Chikara that was around for 20 years. That's come and gone. But I still, someone reached out to me this past week and they said they're writing a Chikara book and they want to hear about the stories behind the stories. And I got so emotional getting to talk about it, because I spent so many years of my life focusing on making that audience happy and creating something that audience will remember and appreciate. And now a lot of them are like, hey, I remember you from when I was in high school, and now I'm out, and I'm like, shit, I'm old. But also as me being in that small community, knowing how much I care about my work as Gentleman Jervis, or just my work in professional wrestling in general, seeing how much someone like Judith Hogue cares about her role in such a massive fan base, I'm just I don't know, I'm tickled. I think it's so cool, and that's why I had to get her figure right away too. That was another thing. I was like, I want this thing to sell out so she could be like, yeah, you guys made the right move bringing me on.
Yeah, because that's one I had to get, was the ultimate.
Oh, the jacket.
Well, that's custom.
Oh, that's a custom one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to show me. You're gonna have to give me your customizer on that.
Yeah, because she does fantastic work. Rebel 10 Customs on Instagram.
Who is that? Is that C Jesum?
No, that's a Rebel 10 Customs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
I
look
got
her
them
up
all.
on Instagram
Stored up here.
and if not, you're gonna. Well,
I'm gonna ping you. I'll get that off you. I want to point out the customized work on this Jervis figure that I have, because it is the best. I have never seen a better custom made suit for a figure of this size. So let me put an extra light on it. This was done by a guy. He goes by Koraki, and he did a line of. Oh, this is not really working. Do you see, like, this is handmade, this suit. He hand, like, tailored every aspect of it.
All the seams.
A lot of the times, the seams, all of it. Like, he may as well, and the buttons are like, they're like these shiny little silver buttons he put on there. The bow tie even comes off. Like, it's got like a retract, it's crazy, the work, the detail that he put in on these. I found him when he was doing and I'll post a link for the chat. I'm sure people would love to see it. But I found him when he was doing the Arthur Fleck Joker before they didn't merchandise that at all, which I was shocked about, like how they did not see that coming. But he made like one of the original sets. Like he's like, pre-order, I'm only making 10 of these. And I saw it and it looked so good. And then I saw the other ones that were coming out and they were like baggy jacket, like didn't look right. And I tried to get on there and get the pre-order and I missed it. And I just kept texting this guy over like 3 months. Please make another. He's like, no, sir, I'm sorry. I'm bored with that. I don't want to make that anymore. Like, it wasn't even like, he was just like, I was like, name your price. He's like, no. So I was like, this guy's got principles. And I like that. So I'm going to bug him about something different. I'll come at it from a different angle. I've wanted a custom Gentleman Jervis action figure. Personally, I always wanted to actually have one made. Like, I wanted to climb high enough to where, I was scanned and they did the works. Might be a while, it might be a little, so I got this made and he nailed it, knocked it out of the park. And it's still one of the best looking, it was on a Mix Max body.
Right. I think that's what a lot of
people, they're like for customizers. They're like Mezco size and proportions, but for customizers. But the one thing is, this is Jervis, like he's a gentleman. And also that hat came from Mr. Fuji from WWE Classics. They didn't give Jervis shoes. I texted him and I was like, hey man, like I appreciate that you did all this and I paid for it. I was like, where's his shoes? He goes, you can get them online.
Dang. So he's pretty laid back, but in just
it took months. And I was like, I don't need you to get me shoes. So you can find them, like Mix Max shoes, I think is what I Googled. And they're out there. But basically Jervis is kind of country now. With his
Nothing wrong with country.
Well, I mean, hey, right.
So he was bored of Arthur Flex, but he jumped right on doing an original, one
exactly. And then he did the Riddler, but in a green suit. Here, let me actually just put up. I'll put up the spelling because I can't spell his actual username. But his work is just, in my opinion, unmatched. And I think. So I have a friend that runs the Lightning Collection. She's like one of the lead designers on the Lightning Collection, the Power Rangers stuff. She was looking for cloth goods and I sent her, I was like, this is the guy, you need to talk to him. I don't know if they ever worked anything out. Yeah. So it's, can I chat? Can I jump into chat? Oh, I'll type it in the studio.
Oh, if you click over to comments on the side, or is it on private chat?
There we go. Comments. He did a really great Mr. Knight. That's his latest. And he just closed the pre-orders. Yeah, a really solid Mr. Knight. Way better than like any of the other. I mean, it's cool that Hasbro is doing one, but it's plastic. He did like a premium Mr. Knight. Did you watch the Moon Knight series, by the way?
Yes. Oh, I try to keep up with all the Marvel stuff. I've got a 17-year-old that comes home. I've got to wait for him to get home from school before I can watch that or the Star Wars shows or anything else. But we try to keep up because in case it ties in with something else.
Yeah. I really like the figures that they released for it, or at least the images of figures they released. They look awesome. They look better than any Legends I've seen in a long time. And I think with that Disney Plus series, the second wave, they have Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, right? Mr. Knight, and Moon Knight. Did they announce the others?
Not yet, because I think it's from shows that haven't started.
They haven't.
What?
Okay. I'd be normally just going to your website for this. I can't tell you how often I pull it up when I'm at Walmart and I'm scrolling and the UPC and stuff. Yeah.
And that's another thing about so much stuff coming out right now. Something like Marvel Legends, I should be up on. But you asking me that, I'm like, oh no, I don't even remember what's in that series. What's that?
I know. It's kind of, for me personally, like I used to be so up on the Marvel Legends, like when they were coming out, and like it was like, you know, new comic book day. Like I was just, yes, something like I knew when they were announced. Now I feel like I missed the announcements, or I feel like I see them later, you know, because they've been doing a lot of like walled off, you know, like they have the Pulse stuff, or sometimes they're revealed on something else. And I'm just like, yeah, but I get it though too.
Yeah, there's 3 more figures in that case. It's going to be 2 Moon Knights, 1 Mr. Knight, 1 Hawkeye. And the rest are Clover, Jersey, and Anchorage. That's the code names.
Jersey's got to be Miss Marvel, right?
That's starting right after Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah, it's got Jersey City. Miss Marvel lives in Jersey. It's got to be Miss Marvel. Anchorage was the other one?
Yeah. I don't know how, or if they just come up with names to throw out there, because I think people.
Someone told me once that they are connected. They're riddled. They're like, yeah, I think so. I think that some of them are connected. But
then with Star Wars, they did the states there for a little bit, and Aura Singh was Oklahoma. So I don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That didn't make any sense.
But that's Star Wars.
So Edgar Gonzalez says, I'd assume Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk. She-Hulk might be the green. What was that one you said? Not Anchorage.
Anchorage or Clover.
Clover. She might be Clover.
We're getting a Marvel Legends Shamrock. Hell yeah.
Nice.
No, yeah. And that's. I don't care for the trickle out for cases, because Star Wars does it too. Where here's 2 figures that are going to be in the next case, but go ahead and order the case without us telling you what the rest is, what the rest of the figures are.
Right, and then sometimes it's like they redistribute like some of the, even like the most mediocre popular ones from the last set. They just keep redoing them. It's an interesting. It's interesting to keep track of that. I've also noticed something too, where they'll send one case of one figure. I think Target has started doing this a lot. Like Target just did it with this guy, with Ninja Tommy from the Power Rangers. And he's a Target exclusive. I've seen him stacked at Targets, but no Ninja Kimberly, Pink Ranger. So I'm like, okay, something's a little off.
I think they did. Did they do that with Age of Apocalypse Cyclops too?
Yes, they did that with it. Yeah, there were so many of him. Oh my gosh, he's still everywhere. They also did that with Fastos, Fast from Eternals. Yep. But I'll tell you, it's I wonder. I'm like, you know, you run a very successful website. I'm a wrestler, but like, how can I action all this info that I have about little pieces of plastic? I mean, right? Do I just start a podcast? Do I do my own? Like, what do I?
Just start a channel. Just start talking.
Yeah. I guess I should just start putting some more stuff out. How did you get started? What brought you here?
Oh my God. I think we started the website in 2002. Well,
I remember the website because I was on all the old forums. Like, all the old ones. Like, I was big on. I mean, W Figs was my home for a minute. The Wrestling Figs forum. But yeah, I was on all those. I remember when the Foosh got started. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
We kicked off with the forums, and then in order to get into San Diego, you had to be an actual news site. So we started the front page just to go to San Diego as press.
Wow. Okay.
And that was 2004 or 5. And then I think it was 2014, 15, where we decided to finally jump on the YouTube bandwagon, 10 years late.
Right. But now there's people that are still not on it, and that are retailers or creators or.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it is intimidating.
And I drew the short straw because I'm in Arkansas. I had the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not ideal for toy hunting.
Yeah, well, the rest of the guys, they had jobs that paid, I'm in Arkansas. I could get by
Yeah,
doing,
right, right,
YouTube stuff.
right.
So I jumped on there, was terrible for several years, and then finally just said, I'm just talking. Let's just talk. And
talk.
So I've had fun since then.
That's awesome, because you've given us, like, I'm speaking for the chat right now, you've given us so much, and your place, like your I talked about communities earlier, right, and how important it is now that, like, people call it nostalgia bucks or whatever. They're tapping into the past. They're trying to bring us back by profiles and put us in the silos or verticals, whatever businesses want to call it. But like, you gave us a community and a place to feel like I told you, that feeling I have where I had to, go to Walmart at midnight so that none of the cool kids saw me. You gave us a place that felt like we are the cool kids, right? This is our space. Like, this is where we're cool. And I feel like that now, talking to you and talking with the chat. Like, it feels like this is our place. And we're the cool kids here.
I think it's like a group effort overall, because there's lots of guys that do this, and I'm backwoods. I don't take compliments very well. So
sorry.
No, you're good. I'm like, oh no, I didn't do any of that. But man, everybody together and everybody in the chat. A lot of these guys in the chat, they hang out with the Wade's Unparalleled Universe live streams. They're over in everybody else's live streams. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, and I'm terrible with names, but
right. I love Toy Shiz too. Toy Shiz. Yeah.
He's almost local. Well, I think of California as local. So
yeah. Toy Shiz posts my stuff every once in a while. I every now and then, because I'll be out there and I'm like there are some days I go on hunts. Like, you don't know how many Walmarts and Targets there are in Southern California, but there's at least it's like 30 combined of all of them. And there have been days where I've driven from Santa Clarita down to like Orange County, or down to Orange County, up to Santa Clarita, and then back to Venice, which is I'm in Venice. But yeah, and Toy Shiz, like, there are times I'm like, I'm going to be the man on the street today for Toy Shiz, but not all the time, just once in a while.
Yeah, I've ran into him several times at shows. Because Toy Fair, I miss Toy Fair, because that's where a lot of people get together, and I miss San Diego, which I'm going to be there here.
Are you going to be there this year?
See how it goes. I don't think we're going to be there the whole time.
Okay. Are they doing, like, I was wondering about Toy Fair. Like, what's the status of Toy Fair?
I think Toy Fair's moved to summerish time, which I'm good with. I hate New York in February.
So does everybody.
Yeah.
I don't blame you there.
I don't like getting on well, hell, I got on a plane in Kansas City that was icy and flew to New York where it was cold and miserable.
That's why I moved to LA, man. I was tired of the cold, tired of the snow.
I can't take it.
Yeah.
I'm getting too old for super cold and super hot.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, well, yeah, you guys do get kind of muggy there in the summer, don't you?
Yeah, humidity. It's pretty bad.
Now, what does that do to your collection? Do you have them out on display? Do they start to...
Most of them are pretty good. They start to get a little bit weak-ankled here and there. But
weird question for you. Have you noticed the figures, I would say mostly from the early 90s, late 80s, the Turtles figures, and some of the Masters have this too. The plastic has become like greasy.
To be honest, I don't have a lot of old, I don't have a lot of vintage stuff.
Yeah.
I have some mask in a box that I haven't messed with in a couple of years now. But my brother ended up with our Transformers and our Masters. And I don't remember. I couldn't tell you where the Turtles went. And whenever I got out of 3 3/4 inch, I sold my childhood Star Wars stuff with that. So
gotcha. Yeah. I went back recently. I visited my mom's house, and I went into the garage, and I looked at my old stuff. And it's not really it's not stored in a high temperature area. Like, it's not super hot. But as I was going through them, I was like, why are they so? Like, what is this grease? And I took just a alcohol wipe, and I wiped them down, and they were good. but it felt like they were melting. I was like, did these plastics have like a lifespan of a certain amount of time and then they start to melt? Or
I gotta think that at some point,
says it's the plastic breaking down. And
off-gassing, I've heard people talk about, or something like a chemical reaction, off-gassing. I don't. I think it's different for every company, because I think Mattel got hit with the lead paint there for a little bit. More recent times, and then
so was it a toxic hazard for me to go through my old collection?
Well, not the old stuff, but that was more. It's been some years ago, but it was more recent. But then Mattel also had that problem with like DC Universe Classics Wave 3, where once you put it on the shelf, it would grow like it would have this white powder on the outside of it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I noticed that too from some of my DC stuff. When I was like, what the heck is this?
Movie Masters too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Movie Masters. Oh man, I'm lucky. I have my Movie Masters Joker still in the, and I have a Movie Masters Batman still in the box.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the other one that I opened.
Yeah.
What would you say?
They'll do it in the box too.
Oh, they do in the box too?
Yeah, because my DC. Well, is DC? No, it was on a card back, wasn't it? But Nightwing and I think Green Lantern and somebody else from the regular line. I have some packaged ones.
Oh yeah,
they're white in the package, because you can take a heat gun to the loose ones and it kind of clears it up.
Oh, okay.
It eventually comes back.
That's kind of like how have you ever seen how they redo soccer stadiums? Like they so at soccer stadiums they have plastic rows and rows of plastic chairs, and people carve in them. They write Sharpie on them. So they take like a heat gun that melts paint, and they just go like that, and it melts the plastic, and then the plastic kind of instantly dries, and it like recoats, and it's bright, like shiny, brand new.
Really?
Basically. Yeah, that's how they clean them. They just heat them, just like that. So it sounds similar.
Like a memory type plastic.
Kind of.
It goes back to shape, or does it kind of melt away and then eventually?
It stays. The shape stays. It kind of melts away. And I only know this because of the Ted Lasso intro. And I looked it up, and I was like, "Is that a real thing?" And like, that's how they really heat. They clean soccer and stadium seats with heat. So I guess maybe we could do that with the DC Universe figs. I don't know.
I really want to watch that show someday. I've only seen YouTube clips of all the. I know what happens, but I've only seen snippets all through it.
It's very like as somebody who in my wrestling character, I create this character that I try to put a lot of heart into and a lot of kindness and warmth. And it's hard to do that without like turning people off. It's hard to do that without seeming disingenuous. Like it's hard to do that in earnest. And that's the thing the show nails is earnestness. And that's why it spoke to me, because I was like, look at these actors, like these performers, you don't feel like you can feel the warmth and the earnestness and their truth, like in the performance that, and there's a sweetness to it. Like there's like I said, like a warmth. And I haven't seen that on a major TV show in a long time. It feels like I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, and not that there was ever much warmth to that show, but it feels like the characters, I saw somebody point this out recently. The characters don't speak to each other like family anymore. They dunk on each other. That's all they do. They just dunk on each other. And like, that's what the kids these days, I'm sorry if there's any of you, kids out there in the chat, but all you guys do is dunk on each other. That's all anybody wants to do is just dunk on each other. And like, yeah, insults are cool, especially if you can insult somebody who deserves it. But like warmth is also cool.
Yeah.
Like kindness, gentleness, and family, like those things are cool. You're going to see that sooner or later. And Ted Lasso puts it on display perfectly.
Yeah, I've got to go back and watch the dart game every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Where he plays darts with her ex-husband. Yeah.
Oh, love it. Love it. He's so good at like these showdowns. They're almost like old Western showdowns, except he's a total sweet gentleman about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nailed it. Yeah. Well, hey, is Dave? I guess we're going to lose him, huh?
No, he'll be back in about 20 minutes if he's going to jump on right before the end. If you're wanting to go.
No, I want to stay. I know. Okay. I'm just talking up a storm. I'm full of a lot of hot air and nonsense. So stop me anytime.
Robo is Eclipse Man. Yeah, I've seen several people comment that we're not really interacting with the chat, but I don't have any control over it. I can't bring up the thing, and I guess I can't even. Oh, Dave's in the chat.
Oh, hey, Dave.
Yeah, I don't even have a window to post. I guess I'd have to bring it up on YouTube.
Collector Express says that we can wash the DCUC and MOTUC figures no heat. You can just wash them.
So it doesn't come. I mean, does it?
The alcohol.
Alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol worked. Just alcohol and paper towel worked. Or like kitchen spray, like the like Fantastic Spray or something like that. That actually worked too.
I guess I've never. Well, one of my problems is I don't have that collection out for display. It's all in tubs at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to work on some kind of space where I can display and have studio stuff out of the house.
What are you thinking? Like, are you going to rent your own space, like, and get like a dedicated space, or just something like more low key?
I have a little land around my house, so I'm kind of thinking like a shop, kind of metal building, or even an office type thing, something. Mini storage. I'm hoping for something for air conditioned, but if it's not, then
that's. I mean, I like the idea of like having land is very cool. First of all, again, something in Los Angeles we don't really get into fantasy enough. But if I had some space and like could build a shop like that, that's really cool. I like that idea.
And plus, since I do this is my living. I'd like to have some kind of separation of home and work.
Yeah. Yep.
Just where I can. Well, I'm done. I'm going to go in here instead of watching TV and then I'm like, I need to edit, or I just had an idea. I need to go do it now.
Right. Yeah, I totally understand that feeling. I'm in my living room right now, but like my bedroom is where that is my bedroom. There is no work in there. There's cool stuff displayed or whatever, but I don't even like to bring my phone in my bedroom. I've had to get really good about sleep health in the past couple of years. So, but work health, like work-life balance and sleep-life balance, all that they kind of go all together. And I feel like having a studio set up or having like a big machine like this rig that I have here, like having something set up like that right in the middle of everything, it can be distracting. It can be hard to feel like you've finished for the day, right?
Yeah, this is my main bedroom of the house that I had to take over. In order
you did. You had to take it over. Do you have a green screen that you can pull down? You have one of those?
No, this is the wall. This is
the wall.
This is set up. This is not permanent when I get it, but this doesn't move. I used the first couple of years that I did the weekly, I would bring a tripod out, put it on the bed, and then back up, and then hang this every time, and then shoot. And it got to the point where I was like, man, the weekly's the big video on the channel. I've got to do something permanent. So I kicked a kid out, and she turned 22. It was time to she moved on, and so we took one of the smaller bedrooms, and
good for you.
Now I'm working my way back to here.
Yeah, it's good to have a dedicated setup like that.
Yeah, but it needs to be out of the house. I've decided. My wife's decided. Cool. Yeah. I
mean, and especially like you said, if it could be temperature controlled, that's great.
Because I don't like sweating. I did 20 years in a metal shop. I don't.
Damn,
with no air
20 years. What did you do in a metal shop?
Brake operator.
Oh, okay.
I bent metal for a long time.
Wow. So you gotta stay cool.
Yeah. And plus, I'm old. I'm getting older.
Yeah, Super Psych says Mrs. Robo said GTFO with this blue stuff.
Yep, that, and this room has the biggest closet, but that's my review space.
Oh, that's the review space.
Yeah, because of the narrowness, it ends with another blue background and a desk and all kinds of stuff.
Andrew says Robo was a bender?
Yep. Futurama. Man, that's another one of those shows that'll go along and then suddenly it hits you right in the heart. Yeah.
You know what? That's a show I'd actually really like to rewatch. I rewatched King of the Hill recently. Talk about a show that holds up.
Yeah.
That even the themes. I don't want to quite say they were fully political, but even just the contemporary nature of the themes of the show, they hold up. Like watching a conservative Texan try to become more progressive is hilarious to me. It's so funny, and that show really holds up, except for the last 2 seasons. They changed it from being King of the Hill was it was a long form kind of sitcom. Like it had there was a running thread. But then I think season 4, the last 2 seasons, they did like episodes. They kind of went away from that. It became kind of like The Simpsons.
It's been a little while since we've watched through that because it's one of TV runs while she's asleep. And it's been a while since it's been that, but it's been Bob's Burgers a lot lately.
Never actually watched Bob's Burgers.
It's pretty good, but it's one of those, oh my God, that's that kid. Oh, that's our other kid. Right there. Oh, that's you. so
yep.
Yeah.
I noticed. So Futurama figs, Super 7 Futurama figs. Manic Mike says, is that true? Are they coming? Or are we just are we hoping? Are we just doing one of these?
I don't.
I would love a Super 7 like Ultimate Bender.
I don't think they've actually. Well, have they?
I don't think so. I think the Simpsons line was announced. The first 4 waves of the Simpsons line was announced. They announced Power Rangers, Thundercats, Silverhawks, freaking Zack Ryder. Like Super 7's got licenses on everybody.
And Brian
Myers.
Yeah, Myers.
Yeah, I love that guy. They've got Super 7's got everything coming out. So if they don't have King of the Hill or Futurama, what are they waiting for?
Oh no, that's Simpsons. It's I don't think they have Futurama.
Interesting. There were some good Futurama figures released. There's a place called My D Pins out in Anaheim, California. They've got some solid Futurama figures. Although I cannot, no matter where I go, I can't find the King of the Hill figures. They're so rare to find.
You know what? It's been a couple of years since I've actually been out and about, but even when I was hitting comic shops and Comic Cons, I don't remember seeing a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. They're really tough to find. They must have only gone through like one round, almost like those Family Guy figures that they released in the early going.
Yeah,
you don't see those much anymore either.
Now the Simpsons got quite a few figures because I remember seeing a bunch of different, and then. Again, my buddy Veebs, he's got the whole collection up on a shelf up at the top, and it's way more than I remember.
Figures. They were great.
Futurama was made by Toonami, looks like.
Toonami?
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard that name since I heard it for the first time, I think. That's a blast from the past.
Did they do Herculoids?
Herculoids. Whoa, that's another blast from the past. I gotta Google that. What a Herculoid?
That's one of my big.
Oh my gosh.
A modern company to do. I want a toy line. I want 6-inch scale.
Look at him. I would love it if they did the Herculoids. I totally forgot about them.
Yeah, some Space Ghost to go along with it.
Yeah. There's no end to the amount of properties that they can, and especially if they keep updating the technology, there's no end to the amount of properties that they can recreate. Like it's crazy to me. I'm looking around at just some of these figures and like the quality levels, they keep going up, you know.
And at this point, I think for like some of it's licensing, you know, trying to find who actually owns some of these licenses or getting the license. I think at this point, I'm hearing quite a few people just outright buying licenses to produce toys instead of having to deal with, you know, going through other people.
Yeah. Well, I found it really interesting when like I used to think something like the Hasbro or the Power Rangers was like an exclusive license. Like I remember when Bandai stopped, I think they lost the license and then Hasbro got it to do the Lightning Collection.
They bought Power Rangers.
Yeah, right. They bought Power Rangers, and then that's why Bandai didn't do it anymore. They did buy Power Rangers outright. I forgot about that.
I can't remember. I think it was the last toy. Was that 2019 or 2020? They came out and was like, "Well, we just bought it."
I think that was 2019. I think when they, I think that was. Wow, I totally forgot about that. I was wondering. I was like, but what makes me the reason I brought that up is Super 7 is doing Power Rangers now, like roughly the same scale. And I dare I say, like, they might look better. I don't know. They might.
They definitely have their style, and it's going to be bigger, right?
A little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah. But Hasbro also licensed G.I. Joe to them and Transformers.
Oh, they licensed GI. I know Transformers. I didn't know Super 7 got that. I guess they're just getting more like they're not doing exclusive licenses anymore, you know?
Well, I think it's like with Star Wars. What am I thinking here? Like Diamond Select, they could do Marvel figures, but they have to be 7-inch. And then Mezco can do Marvel figures, but they have to have cloth on them. So each license, even though they're kind of close in scale, they have their own differences. And I think that's the way Hasbro's done. Because G.I. Joe through Mezco is like the soft goods. G.I. Joe through Super 7 is the cartoon looks.
Oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, so that's kind of how NECA got the Turtles. Like they kind of parsed them out by retailer, but I got it. Okay.
Yeah. And with Turtles, there's not actually anything that says that Super 7 has to stick with the original vintage line. And NECA has to stick with what they do. They could do the vintage line too. But I think it's kind of a gentleman's agreement between the two companies that we won't step on your toes. We won't step on yours or something.
So Super 7 could make figures from the first movie, or they could make that Volkswagen van or whatever if they wanted to.
But I think in order to stick with, they could legally, but they probably won't. Wow. But although, what was the gorilla that they just showed?
Oh yeah, I can picture him in my head with the green with the suit with the bananas.
Not Sergeant Bananas, but they gorilla.
Yeah, gorilla.
They apparently couldn't use Sergeant Bananas because Playmates said they couldn't, or they were using it somewhere else or something. So Playmates can step in every now and then and say, they still have a little say, I think.
Because Playmates they're not really making anything right now. I mean, I saw the karate or the Cobra Kai figures.
And they still come out with vintage style stuff every now and then.
Yeah, every once in a while. And then there's there's another Turtles cartoon license set coming out at Walmart. I can't think of the company, a smaller company that just got them. And they're I would almost say they're similar to the figure arts. Like they have like a bunch of different hands and heads, but like it's the cartoon license are being printed again. Like it's another company doing it, same scale and everything. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. I feel like there's a crown on the logo of their. I can see the boxes in my head. Maybe someone in the chat will remember. But
does Funko have a crown?
I don't think it's Funko. No, it's not Funko. But that's a good point.
The Loyal Subjects DSTAXN.
Yep, that's it. Yep, that was another one I saw. And I'm like, I can't do these two. Like,
you're probably good on passing them.
I'm good on passing them. Yeah, it's hard to keep up. I mean, the Ninja Turtles stuff because, and here's the funny thing. I went, well, I'll get into this story in a sec, but because there's so many figures from the original line, like they can literally remake, NECA can remake the whole original line. They could just redo the whole thing if they want. They probably will. A few Thanksgivings ago, I went to, living away from family, I'm kind of like that, hey, yeah, come eat Thanksgiving with us. You know, like I'm that guy sometimes. And I went to a friend of a friend's house, my friend's grandfather's house. And his grandfather was one of the executives at Playmates that came up with the Ninja Turtles line. So he took me to his office and showed me the paperwork. Like he showed me the original documents and everything. And of course, we're in this giant freaking mansion that the Ninja Turtle. He's like, the Turtles bought me this house and my other three. And yeah, it was like for me, part of growing up in growing up in the 80s and 90s and living, being raised by media in a lot of ways, like being raised by these properties, these intellectual properties. I've gone to the source of a lot of them. You know, like I'm friends with X-Pac. He was one of my favorite guys to watch on wrestling. Now he knows me by name. We're homies. I literally had Thanksgiving dinner with the guy who made it so that I could have all these Ninja Turtles on my shelf. Like I've gone to the source of so many of these pop culture properties that have raised me, and I just got to keep digging. That's why the Judith Hogue thing, that really excited me, you know?
And that's awesome.
But yeah, I got to talk to that guy, and he was like, he told me that he was like, I didn't really know much, but I knew that there was a way to exponentially expand this by giving them occupations. He's like, we could just give them new jobs, and that's all it took.
Yeah, like, for the main turtles.
For the turtles, yeah, like you have like Sailor Mike, and like, and once they got into that method of it, he said it was like getting the toys approved was no problem whatsoever. Like getting the new concepts approved, but I've seen some thrown away concepts from that era, and they got crazy after a while.
Well, see, there's been several live streams where several people we've talked about how crazy it had to have been to be a designer in the 80s for He-Man, for the original designs for the toy line, or the Turtles, the stuff that was only through the toys that eventually ended up elsewhere, or their interpretation of it. Oh man, I can't even imagine sitting there and going, okay, now give them a peg leg and a metal eye.
A pizza box for a head.
What can we do?
No, he had the pizza box for a foot. Well, I saw that the chat looks like they want us to do some ripping. They want us to open some stuff up.
Oh, is that what this show's about? What is?
I guess, is that what we're supposed to do here?
Yeah.
I do have one to open. Can I grab it?
Oh yeah. Because I'm gonna grab this.
I think I'm gonna hold off on the Danny Pennington. I'm not ready. Oh, you got a torch. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a Piranha's head.
Oh dang! I saw that was available somewhere, and I don't do Power Rangers, but I love the creatures.
This is so my friend. I a few years ago, I met someone at a wedding that like I happened to sit next to them, and they were like, "What do you do? What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a professional wrestler." And it's a little, well, I design toys. I work for Hasbro. I designed My Little Pony. And then like we kept in touch, and I was like, "Oh my God, you got to tell me more." And she's like, "We're doing a line of like superhero ponies and this and that." And then she hit me up one day, and she's like, "Hey, like I took over the Power Rangers line, or I started designing for. Didn't take over." She said, "I'm designing for them." So like her first, the figures that she designed, the first ones were the Tenga Warriors, which were the birds from the movie, the Power Rangers movie. And they had, for the first time, they had like shiny, like sort of like great, like glitter paint. Like they look different, they look better. And that's the thing I've noticed about this guy is like the paint, and not just the paint, but the mold on here. Like the mold is all obviously unique, but the paint application just looks so much better. And I always text her and I'm like, thanks. Like, thanks for
now,
this.
there's
one.
been a couple, like the eye guy. It's kind of plain looking.
Yeah.
I've seen some repaints of that is amazing.
Really? I've never seen any of those. I'd actually like to see that.
Now, but I saw that available, and it was, what is it, $32?
I think so, yeah.
I was like, dang, that's cheaper than the Marvel Legends I just because
it is. And I'm going to tell you something about these Power Rangers villains. They go on sale. Like, they 100% will go on sale. I got Sphinx, the Sphinx for $11, I think. I just couldn't wait on this one. He looked so awesome to me. Yes, King Sphinx. Love that figure.
Sphinx, and I got Pumpkin Wrapper.
I got him for very cheap too. Yeah, I think I got him for under 20. Pumpkin Wrapper. I forgot that's what it was called.
Plus, he came with some cool accessories. I can use those pumpkins on other things.
Oh yeah,
power effects. Sure. And
now he's one that needed a repaint. I will say that the pumpkin Wrapper needed at least a wash or something. Like
in the eyes and the mouth and.
Yep. We've got, they say Piranha's head is so good. The feet should be green all around, blue on legs, red on shoulders, fins missing some white. I don't know why, but I remember him having black in the design. And I think it's because that's what the original figure had. Like the original release had a black, instead of like where his shell is blue or his skin is blue. Like I think he had a black, it was painted black, even though it wasn't on the show. But in my head, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the figure, even though it's inaccurate, it's kind of like when the Toka and Rezar figures had like green and blue, costumes. Like, yeah. So he looks a little different than he looks in my head. But either way, I'm excited to dig in here.
I've gotten to where I prefer my mental image type things, and that's terrible for a toy reviewer. I'm like, well, this paint color's wrong, but I like it, and I catch some hell for that.
Yeah,
but I used to be picky. I used to not like my own work, customs and everything else, but I've softened up a lot. And
Yeah.
like I said, some people don't like it. Some people are okay with going with the flow.
Yeah, it's an interesting, it's all about preference, I think.
Yeah.
Some people want it to be super accurate, and then, but that's what's also very interesting to me about like the Super 7 figures versus the NECA figures, is like the Super 7 figures capture the actual toy line. The NECA figures capture the cartoon that the toy line was based on. So like some of them, like Metalhead, for example, or Slash. Slash, I remember the Slash from the video games. I don't remember that weird looking Slash from the cartoon.
Oh, really?
I remember the Slash figure that was like kind of like a green, like a teal green with the black spikes and the like. And I remember that they released Slash and he had like a cyborg eye thing, and like NECA released him, and I was like, that's not the Slash I remember.
Yeah.
But then NECA later released, I think, Turtles in Time Slash from the video game, and I was like, that's Slash. But
now they have the comic book one coming, right?
Yes, and that's totally separate. Yep.
I don't know if I've gotten my Slash yet.
Yeah, I got the Turtles in Time is what did it for me. That was the one.
My Super 7 stuff goes up to, again, Veeb's house, because we just throw it all together to save on shipping.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to his house in a year, so I have a stack of Super 7 stuff. Thundercat.
With a pickup truck.
Oh, man. It got to the point where I don't even open the stuff I do have, waiting for that.
Yep. I know that feeling. I haven't been there in a little while because times have been a little tougher around the Cotton Valley residents, but I do know that feeling. Let's see.
I already have a Human Torch.
You don't have a torch at all?
I have a torch for the display, but this one's going to get customized.
What are you going to do with them?
I got the Marvel Select, which is too big for my. It's 7
yeah,
inch.
he's huge.
But the heads and the power hands fit on this. So I needed the torch to be the faceless John.
Yeah. Yep.
Hammond.
Yeah.
The original Human Torch.
Yeah, the original OG torch.
Yeah. So that's who this is going to be.
Oh, cool.
Heck yeah, Mike Mahan.
Do you guys feel that? Actually, the plastic doesn't smell very fresh. It doesn't smell like great. But the one thing I like about these deluxe, the way they're doing the villains, is that the boxes, they don't just look nice. Like, they're easy to take to disassemble. The Legends boxes are still kind of easy, but like, and the Lightning Collection boxes are easy too, now that I think about it. But I appreciate that because sometimes I like to take them out and then put it back.
For storage or just
Yeah, for storage or for display. Like I think the I took him out, but I think this Green Ranger Shredder mashup is, I think this box just looks so cool. And it's so colorful.
I like the designs on those boxes.
Oh yeah, I think they're really awesome. And I'm just like, this is the kind of thing, like, I have a lot of color on my shelves, like I have other boxes and that are colorful and stand out. I'm like, I think I'm gonna put them back in there, and I think I'm gonna display this one. So I couldn't get rid of the box just yet.
And all the artwork on the end matches when you stack them side by side, right?
Yes. Yep. I love that. I love that look so much. They I think they nailed it with the Lightning. I don't like the look of the Plasma Collection as much, but the Lightning Collection, I think they nailed it. I mean, the Plasma Collection's cool, like it's within the theme, but I just like the art style here.
Yeah. If I had all the space in the world and all the money, the Star Wars Black Series stuff where they make the ends match up into the next picture, I'd have those displayed somehow too, but I can't do it.
Man, I love those. I think they're great. I would love to do that. I also like Marvel Select. I like their artwork on the sides of their bubble packages.
Those are some big old boxes though.
They are big old boxes.
Huge.
That's why, like, my Abomination figure weighs like 15 pounds, I swear.
You can swing and defend yourself at home with one of those.
Yeah, that's what I keep by the door.
You get an Abomination and a Titanium Man. And
I've got here. I'll show you the other local weapon.
Tom Whalen art is amazing.
I'm a fan of the big meaty boys. So this from McFarlane, Cygor. Like I was just never big into this series, but I mean, look at that thing.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a weapon. I could bludgeon somebody with this.
I was going to get into the Spawn stuff because, like G.I. Joe, I didn't do Spawn when it was the first time around, you know?
Right.
But I didn't. I can't. I got to keep up with my Star Wars.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I had not, just haven't kept up with Black Series lately. I feel like I don't know what it was, but I just stopped buying them as much, and now I'm kind of like, I'm missing. It's the 3 3/4 inch that those are the ones I love. Robert says, before you leave, needs to know, what are your thoughts on flocking, and in particular Mezco's vapor? Can I get some more context around that?
Flocking, you know, like the vintage Mossman or Panther.
Yeah.
Or there's some Mezco 1/12 Collective, like the Moss guy from there. Just that.
Oh, now I see.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on? Do you like flocked figures?
Moss, what it flocked? Are we like? This is
like,
a new term. This is new to me.
It's like on those old ones, it was like a layer of glue over the figure, but then they would lay yes,
like
I see. Carpet.
Yeah, flocking. Oh man. Well, you know what? If they were gonna make like a Gentleman Jervis figure, I think they might have to flock him, because this is okay. I showed you the suited prototype. This is the Mattel prototype with an actual cotton belly. I don't know that this is cost effective, so we might need to lay some carpet.
Now that is okay. And now you're going to guess what my thoughts on flocking are.
What are your thoughts on flocking?
It is nasty.
Yeah. What's nasty about it? You mean over time it kind of?
Oh no! If I touch it, my body reacts. It's like,
you're one of those.
No, stop. Because
like you scratch it. You ever just
like drywall? You ever take fingernails on a chalkboard or drywall, and it's just like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's what it is. I get it now. The sensation of
it's that I'm good with fur like that, or something longer, like dog hair.
That's a soft cotton belly. Right there.
Soft. With flocking, it's like very short, and there's a texture. It's almost a texture, like an AstroTurf that's been mowed.
Glued to a figure. We were talking about that. I'm trying to think of what other figures had that from. Did any of the Turtles figures have that from the original line? I feel like
Dave, was there any turtles that were flocked?
There were the turtle trolls, and a couple random ones had
turtle trolls. Those are the ones.
Those were long hair though, right?
Yep. There was a movie Splinter that was flocked.
Movie Splinter was flocked. Yes, he was. I like that. I thought that was great. I don't know.
That's Robo's worst nightmare. But
the reds are barely off the works.
He looks great. Whoa. I gotta finish getting Piranha's head out of here.
Oh man! Hey,
we waited until the last 10 minutes to actually open.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I've been checking in periodically. I'm actually upstairs. The lovely Mrs. is over there on the couch.
Y'all good? Storm passed?
It's still. I don't know if you can hear that. It's a brewing, but the worst of it's past us. So we're just kind of have a nice, good old thunderstorm going through now. So.
Do you have any pets in the house?
Yep, and both of them are hunkered in next to the missus.
Thunder buddies.
Oh yes. Stormy, can you say hi?
Oh, Stormy. Wait, Stormy is the dog's name?
Yep.
Yeah.
She was born during a thunderstorm.
Nice.
But is petrified of them. And then Floyd is actually hunkered in downstairs still. But
I gotta say, it's a pretty great figure.
I've seen that one a couple times. That looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I got him, I saw him come out of, he was on the cart, still in the box that was being unloaded, and I was like...
and run away.
Yeah, I scurried away with this. This is a great figure. I'm very happy I unboxed this. I don't think I'll be keeping any of the Lightning collection in the box because they're pretty dope to pose.
Yeah, they are far too fun to unbox. Actually, if I could fit it in, did you get the pumpkin wrapper, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say I have a few of those because I used the effects from a bunch of stuff. So I was like, I'll send one.
That's what we were just talking about.
Right on.
Yeah, we were saying that like even with these villains, as much as I love the line and I want to support it, the prices, like if you wait, they go down. Like I'm waiting on not Porky Pig. I'm waiting on Pudgy Pig and I'm waiting on Eye Guy. I'm gonna get them. Like they're great. They're great figures. And especially if you're into like, you know, like I've thought about making because I started buying the Walmart exclusive like the Zords that they came out with, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think I'm gonna buy any more. I think I'm gonna get the Super 7 Zords. But ultimately you can make a pretty dope like diorama of small, you know, of a city, like a kaiju diorama, essentially with 12 small figures.
Kaiju big battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Also, sorry,
you know, I wrestled for Kaiju Big Battle for a few years.
Oh yes.
I was a couple different monsters.
Yeah, man. No, like I said, the weird thing is I have this weird like background connection to you from working with like Chikara and working with a couple other organizations where it's like I was doing posters or like art, you know, for them, and it's like, oh man.
We've been connected for much longer than before we actually got down to, you know, talking it out.
Yeah. But
and you go to the first wrestling shows, right, in Minnesota?
Yep. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I brought Robo last time he was through.
That's still one of the best shows I ever was on, honestly.
Dude, that is you and Chuck doing the Dirty Dancing spot is still one of the highlights of my wrestling fandom.
You didn't know it was coming, did you?
No, and it was awesome because like everybody lost their minds collectively, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, because once everyone figured what was coming, they were like, "Are they really going to do this? We're going to do a Dirty Dancing spot in a wrestling match?" And my goal was always, how little wrestling can I actually do today? And still be a wrestling match. And I remember one time Colt Cabana comes up to me. I was like, "What'd you think of my match, Colt?" And he goes, "You know, don't forget it's wrestling. It's still wrestling."
Yeah. That's where you just rub Jervis's belly and go, "Tell me more."
Yeah, that was it. Oh, I see. So we've got a question. It says, "Dave, are you doing Ethan Page's comic?" Big fan of Egon Page.
I am not. I actually had talked to him about it at one point, and then I don't know, like just kind of fell off. But he's got an awesome artist. They're doing more of like it seems more like kind of children's book feel, which is going to be super cool. He showed a little preview on his latest vlog, so I'm stoked he's getting to do it. But
yeah. He is one of the, besides, he and Danhausen, like there's wrestler/toy collectors, like we all kind of low key like keep in touch, like, you know, we know each other. Like he's one of the go-to guys that like I know I can have the conversations that we've been having here. I can have one of those with him. And
heck yeah!
It'll go nice and smooth.
My goal is at some point get like the three of you guys on with like Robo and Cincy and stuff, and just have the wrestlers and the toy nerds. But with our powers combined, we'll hardly be able to hear each other over everybody talking at the same time.
Yes. Well, you know, maybe then we can actually bring Jervis.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I did hop on. I'm at 5. Whoa. John, I'm with you. That is a fantastic match. Also,
thanks, John.
Kevin, I gotta say real quick, my buddy Sam, Robo's arch enemy, is a big fan of yours. He told me to pass that along.
Tell Sam I said thank you, and I don't know where do I fall in the middle? Does this mean I'm against a Robo? Or are we still cool?
I hope so.
That's very telling.
No, I'm actually cool with Sam. It's like a running cut.
No, it's a running gag.
Yeah.
But
good.
But,
well, hi Sam. What's up?
Yeah, hell yeah. We are.
I will also tell Jervis that you said hello.
Oh, definitely. We are actually running at the end of the show and the end of my battery life, so I got to end it while we can. But Kevin, you and Jervis are, of course, always welcome back here. I'd love to have you back on. When I actually get to be on the show. Robo, you know. But I'm gonna wrap this up before my phone completely craps out. But to the COJ, thank you for sticking with. Kevin, Robo, thank you for covering my butt while there's no power.
Oh man, I know how it is. You remember?
I know, and that was
been there.
Great. But yes, we'll have to do this again. Kevin, I'll drop you a message later. I got to send you some stuff anyways. So it'll be good. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna end the stream now, and I apparently can't access the outro. Oh no! Can I not?
Dave. Thank you, Robo. I love you guys.
Yeah. I'll talk to you later. I followed you on Instagram today, so
good.
We'll message you there about the Casey
got
set
it.
or something.
I made a special outro just for you, Kevin / Jervis.
Really?
Good night, everybody. See if it'll work.
Oh.
Go. That's not right. Let's try that one. It's kind of working.